Okay guys, in this video we're going to be doing cam bearings. So the ones in this 5.3 have roughly 350,000 on them, and 50,000 of that is very spirited driving. Um, I'll actually bring you in here and show you them. They're very crispy. There you go. In there, so you can see those are very used up. As the sloppy mechanics guys say, I'm going to be taking the magic out of this block because they are horrendous. You can just see the load from the camshaft when it gets pulled down on the one side of the bearing there. So if you look all the way through there, they're very, very used up. Same with the crank bearings. This engine saw a lot of limiter from me. So they're very, very used up. You can just check that out. A lot of scoring. You can just see how bad the cam bearings are there too. You got just everywhere is a little bit of carbon. You can definitely see some stuff went through it. All right, so we're going to get back to the cam bearings there. So I'm going to put you guys back up on the stand, and hopefully you guys can pretty much see what I'm going to be doing. This is the tool I made right there. You can see it on my Instagram. So I'm just going to be knocking out every cam bearing like so, then just go along as I go. All right, stay tuned, and I'll just show you guys what's happening. So we're gonna knock out these bearings here. It's not too important on the way out. The way in is a lot more important. Try to hold it a bit straight. Like so. Now that's done. Grab my mandrel. So there we go. And you can just check it out in there if it'll focus. Yeah, there we go. You can see just how bad those are. It's having a rough time focusing, but you get the point. All right, so I'm gonna do a couple more, hopefully with you guys watching along here, and I'll just fast forward through this bit. Okay, for this last one, I'm just gonna get you guys in here so you can see what's going on. This is the right cylinder 7 and 8. The camera's going to shake a little bit, well, quite a bit, but I don't have really anything else to hold it right now. This is just so you guys can see what's happening. I can explain it to you a little bit better. So this is my mandrel right here. That just goes down there on my tool. You can kind of see the end there, right down there. And I slide this in the bearing first, and then I put the tool inside. There's a threaded hole in the end of the tool. You don't really need to use it for any of this. It's mostly just keeping the tool together when it's not in use. Most of this is just kind of, you're only driving one way, so I'm just gonna slide the tool into the last bearing here. Sometimes it's a little bit of a bugger. The tool has a pretty good fit inside that bearing, so it's sometimes a little bit of a pain. I can just tap it in. Yeah, There we go. So there we go. Now I can't see too much because of the mount I'm using, but hopefully you guys can see what's going on. Alright, so now we're seated up. And just give it a bunch of good hits until it drives through the back. And there it goes. Now hopefully you try not to drop it every time, so you don't have to make a new one or of these, but if you're using the universal ones, they got the 4 pieces and the rubber band that goes around it, and you have to tighten that thing on the end, but with mine you don't have to. So there we go. All the bearings out there. And now you can drive in all the other bearings pretty much the same way, except for the end ones. The end ones you have to go from the opposite side so you don't put it in crooked. Okay, so you can see all the old bearings there. Really gnarly looking. There's no magic left in those. Yeah, they're very rough. So here's a new set of bearings. There's also, I have a spare set in case I mess a couple up. Only the end two I have spares of because they're all a little bit different diameters. So you can see that there is 3 part numbers and 3 possible positions. I always get 2 sets of cam bearings when I'm going to do them, just in case. This tool I made, actually, you don't mess up very often with it. Unless you obviously don't go from the other side for the end one. Otherwise you won't have no alignment cone going into one of the journals. So you can actually see that each part number, is on the cam bearings. Let me just see it here. So come on, focus right there. So you can see 1814 will go into position 1 and 5. So you can flip them. You could have that one 1 or that one 1, as long as they go in order of the engine. See the 5 main journal spots? That's how you'd want it. Now you can put it the other way or that way, as long as they're like that. And you'll know if you get the wrong one. It'll either be really tough to go in or it'll just fall in, which is not good. The thing with these cam bearings is there's actually 2 sides to them. So you can actually see one side has a flat to it, that side. See that little bit of flat right near my thumb there? And if you flip it over, you can see that goes to a sharp edge. It's like a burr. I drive against the flat spot, so I'm driving it in that way. Just so it doesn't wrinkle that burr up and do any damage to that or push the bearing around. Another good thing to do is mark where your oil holes are, so they're a lot easier to install because you have to line them up with the oil holes in the journals. You can see them along there on the left, all along down there. And you just got to line up. There's 2 of them. You can mark both of them. I just put them all in the same way. So you need to mark the outside of the bearing where you can see it, so you can line that hole up with that journal. Otherwise you're not going to get oil pressure to that journal and it won't be good. Okay, I got 1 cam bearing in just to show you guys here quick here. I'll do the rest off camera. So you can see we have the oil journal hole, and then you can see where I marked the actual oil hole, and the other one is down there. Yeah. So I'll just take this 90-degree pick here and I will just try to poke it, and you can see, you can see the pick goes in the hole. You can feel it in the journal. So that one's good. It's gonna get oil. It's gonna be just fine. So it does a pretty good job at installing them there. Now you're gonna want to put that bearing kind of in the middle of the real estate for that journal. So you can see it's got some on this side and it's got a good amount on the other side there. That's what you're gonna want. And you're gonna want to clean up the journal before you install that bearing. I put them in dry, never had an issue with it. If you put them in with oil, I guess there's a possibility of the bearing spinning in that bore. As they are only a press fit, I just installed them dry, never had an issue. You guys can do as you please. But yeah, there we go. That is how you install cam bearings on an LS. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. I'll be doing more videos like this and videos on my C10 and my other Chevy truck. Awesome. Well, thank you, guys.